Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys to California. Before I begin, I'm going to give all praise, Most High Yahweh, acknowledgement to Earthly Mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledge Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High bless this lesson this evening. Give us one knowledge understanding of the events of the past in order to answer events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. It's way worse than we thought. These Romans, Greeks, did not have the history that they have been trying to perpetrate on the world. And to you people of the world who have been worshiping these Greeks and these Romans, are these your kings? These are the kings. These are the people that you have chosen to pledge allegiance to. You're going to see tonight that their history is fake, false. The whole world has been bamboozled into thinking that these people were ancient. So that's why I laugh when I hear about the ancient Greeks and the ancient Romans. You're going to see that this whole replacement theology wasn't just religion, it was also history. They don't have a history, so therefore they had to steal ours. And we're going to get into that right now. Check this out. I'm going to take a look at the medieval empire of the Israelites. I was watching one of the videos by Malcolm from GMS, and he had pulled up this book, and just reminded me, he didn't go into the book, he just kind of looked at the title and cover, and that was pretty much all he did. But then I think that's the Most High gave me a sign to get back into this book and take a look at some things. I want to share that with you right now. Now, what you're going to see is you're going to see a Bible story that happened in ancient times. Then you're going to see a story later on in the 6th or 7th century, which is going to almost go verbatim as to these biblical stories, to show you that they just copied our stories. That these things didn't really happen when they say it happened, but they just copied our stories and changed the names. And then that's how they, worked themselves into having some type of a historical or ancient time, when apparently that was not the case. Check it out. This is from the Bible. After the conquest of the promised land by the Israelites, and after the death of Joshua, Judges 2 and 8, those who rose up against God had to go to war with Moab, Judges 3:12, 28 to 31. At that time, those who rose up against God already had settled in a new place and founded a city. So right here, next section, Middle Ages. In the imaginary 7th century, they're telling you this stuff is just imaginary. It says AD. In precise coordination with the Bible, supposedly in 673 AD, Moab attacks New Rome. So right here, Bible. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, and went and defeated Israel, and they took possession of the city of palms. This name is practically identical with Palmyra. Middle Ages. Moab does not hesitate to attack Constantinople itself. In 673, a huge Arab fleet appeared outside Constantinople. For 5 years, the Arabs persevere in their attempts to seize the capital of the empire. At the same time, the Arabs, or Moab, captured the area where the legendary Palmyra is located. Continue. Israel is victorious over Moab. And they killed at that time about 10,000. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel. Judges 3, 28 to 30. Middle Ages. New Rome is victorious over Moab, supposedly in the 7th century AD. Moab was forced to conclude a 30-year peace, in which connection they pledged themselves even to pay out a small tribute to the Eastern Roman government. So you see how these events are kind of mirroring themselves, right? Crazy, huh? And we know these events weren't just, repeating themselves. So they're just going to get in our stories and then just change up the names and make it seem like this stuff is happening in Rome. Next, Abimelech is killed during the siege by him of the city of Thebes, Judges 9. He dies in a battle on a city street. Middle Ages. Pyrrhus dies during the siege of the city Argos. He dies in a battle on a city street. Almost exactly the same thing. Next, Bible. A woman, a resident of Thebes, observed the battle from a tower window, which was besieged by Abimelech's forces. Okay, next part. Abimelech came to the tower and fought against it, and a certain woman threw an upper millstone upon Abimelech's head and crushed his skull. Judges 9:53. Abimelech was mortally wounded. Imaginary Middle Ages. An old woman resident looked at the battle from the window of a home, and having seen that her son had entered combat with Pyrrhus, tore a tile from the roof and threw it with both hands at Pyrrhus. The tile struck him in the head beneath the helmet and broke a vertebra at the base of the neck. Mortally wounded, Pyrrhus falls from his horse. Now I looked it up, and this story is out there, and it goes pretty much exactly what you're seeing right here. So you think there's way too many coincidences. So like I said, that's why these people just copy everything that we do. There's nothing original about them. So this makes you have to examine what they've given us, what they've shared, because we, just like movies, we know they're getting these ideas from other books and things like that, of those ours as well. As you can see now, their history is just pretty much just a redo of our history. So like I told you, it's way worse than we thought. These people, their whole Renaissance, I'm sure was nothing but they came over here, got a hold of our scriptures, got a hold of our information, and then all of a sudden, during the Renaissance, they, bam, came up with a history for themselves. Let's continue. In all the Bible, there is not one other hero military leader who was killed by a piece of stone thrown at him by a woman. In all of ancient Greek and Roman history, there also is not one other military leader killed in that same way. In front of us, we have one and the same event, as told by different authors in different languages. You think this is a coincidence? Of course it's not. But now the Most High is bringing out all this information so that if you choose to make these people your king, your kings and queens, and you continue to follow them, just know that they have absolutely no foundation to stand on. They've stolen absolutely everything. Let's continue. Although Abimelech is mortally wounded, he is still alive and called hastily to the young man, his armor bearer, and said to him, "Draw your sword and kill me, lest men say of me, a woman killed him." And his young man thrust him through, and he died. Judges 9:54. Imaginary Middle Ages. Although Pyrrhus is mortally wounded, he is still alive. A certain Zopyrus approached him. Pyrrhus gave him a terrible look, so that Zopyrus was frightened. His hands trembled, but being full of alarm and confusion, it was only slowly and with difficulty that he severed the head. Thus does Plutarch describe the death of Pyrrhus. So, like I said, same kind of things going on here, just repeating itself. Last part. After the death of Abimelech, the battle stopped immediately. Judges 9:55. Imaginary Middle Ages, next section. After the death of Pyrrhus, the battle stopped immediately. You think these are all just a bunch of coincidences? Or is it just more proof that these people have no originality whatsoever? And they have copied everything about them from our people. Their religious understanding from us, their history from us, but they wanted to write us all out of everything, and they could do that while Israel was asleep during the times of the Gentiles. But as you can see, their time is over. It is a wrap for them. And we will continue with this even more. But I want you to see, look up that history, look up those stories, look them up on Google, Google them, look them up. And you're going to see a lot of similarities from what's happened to us and then what they wrote down about what happened to them. They have no history. So therefore they were reduced to copying ours. And now the Most High is bringing out this knowledge and understanding at this time. All praise Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to Earthly Mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Egnon, Jatawashai. Shalom.